Great to see some familiar faces here, and thank you all for coming along. I know some of you have travelled, some of you are still travelling, and will be arriving later this morning. I had a few emails. There's a Minex CRC workshop in Adelaide that people are travelling up from, so there will be a few later arrivals, and a few people, of course, attending the competing event in Townsville today, but will be here tomorrow. So I really appreciate the effort everyone's made in coming along. First of all, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we're gathering today and pay my respects to leaders past, present and emerging. We have housekeeping exit obviously through the door with the exit sign and out onto the street if you hear any alarms. The toilets are out this door and around to the left. I hope you've all gotten some tea and coffee, and we will have breaks, morning tea, lunch and afternoon tea. The morning session will run through a series of talks from both GSQ and invited guests, and then we'll have workshop sessions in the afternoon. We are going to film the proceedings today, so if anybody doesn't want to be filmed, please let us know and we'll turn it off. And there's a little mic that goes with the camera. Rick Valenta's up there being super cameraman. And we would also like to make all the presentations available to the delegates after the workshop. So if you need to edit your presentation before you make it publicly available, or if you'd prefer not to make it publicly available, again, that's fine. Just let us know. Okay. So the Geological Survey of Queensland exists in order to support the minerals industry in this state. Our goal is to enable industry success. Our traditional activities in some cases may need to be modified, but we are working towards trying to get the right data out to industry, the right information and the right support to make sure that your success is there for everybody. We want to do the jobs that will help industry but are too big or too hard and too expensive for any one company to undertake. Hence we perform regional geophysical surveys, for example. We're doing that well, I think, and that'll be ongoing. We traditionally perform a lot of regional geology exercises and mapping. I think that's been done extremely well in the past. Now we need to move to mapping geology undercover and creating more certainty around the rocks that are obscured and that we can't see in order to de-risk and minimise risk for explorers. And of course, mineral system studies, understanding the big picture of how ore deposits form in different parts of the state. I'm just going to talk you through, very, very briefly, I'm only here to give you an introduction, the funding program that the GSQ is currently operating under, and we have a number of people who are either funded by or working under that program here today. We call this the Strategic Resources Exploration Program. It goes for 4 years. We're halfway through now, 2017 to 2021. And within the Mineral Geoscience Group, this is the new discovery program. So we have $11 million to spend on understanding the state's geology and helping explorers over those 4 years. And that's broken up into geophysics, some geochemistry, a mineral synthesis component, and then a strong collaborative component as well. The new discovery program is very focused on the Northwest Minerals Province, and I know that there are a lot of people here today who don't work in the Northwest Minerals Province. So one of the GSQ-centric talks that you'll see today, which won't be too many, will be focused on work that's going on up in that area, and of course some of our industry partners like Aeon Metals will also talk about work in that area. However, in respect to the rest of the state, and to assure you that we haven't forgotten about the rest of you, we will also hear from people who represent other parts of the resources sector in Queensland. Some updates to the new discovery program. We have the Central ISA Air Mag survey commenced in April. That's currently on pause, but will recommence hopefully in the next few months. The Cloncurry Extension Magnetotelluric Survey is currently undergoing cultural clearances out near Cloncurry and will commence in the next month or two. And then our mineral systems collection, which we've previously referred to as the reference collection, but that was a bit dry, is an ongoing project that you'll hear a bit more about today as well, particularly with respect to Ernest Henry. We have a number of collaborators, as I said. Under the New Discovery program, you'll hear from Rick Valenta. He's going to talk about the Deposit Atlas work, which is one of our, I think, one of the most popular and best received products under the New Discovery program. That'll be 2 workshop sessions tomorrow afternoon. Rick will talk about that. Data 61 is also another of our collaborators with CSIRO, and you'll hear from Vashek this morning. And we also have a strong drive to understand the Mary Kathleen domain, which we're working strongly with the people from JCU, both students and researchers. Another of our collaborators, of course, is Geoscience Australia, and you'll hear today about the geochemical sampling and that they've been doing on a regional scale, and gravity and magnetic inversions between the Mount Isa and Tennant Creek area. So as I said, we've got collaborators, guest speakers. You will hear from some GSQ staff, but I don't want this to be just a government, we stand here and tell you what we're doing and you all get bored, which is why we're trying to get into the room a mix of people from government, but also industry, academic institutions and other important people who are making advances in the exploration world, and who we can get everyone together and have conversations and generate ideas, and hopefully someone will have a light bulb moment that leads to something really great. Our industry spotlight today will include Aeon Metals and Evolution Mining. We're going to have a student feature session later in the afternoon with students from JCU. We'll have a target compilation workshop, which Rick Valenta is going to run, and then a bit of a focus on various data talks this morning first up. Our goal, as I've said, is to enable industry success. We do this through the dissemination of knowledge, getting what we're doing. It's no point us doing a bunch of work and nobody else knows about it. So we're here today to tell you about the work that we're doing, to tell you about the work that we're funding, that our collaborators are doing, and also about the work that we just think is interesting, that you may also find interesting, that other people may find useful. It's our job to fill in those big scale knowledge gaps rather than explore for individual deposits. And we want to enable collaboration by bringing different groups of people together. A few things that may be useful today. We do have Wi-Fi available, so if you click on your little Wi-Fi buttons, then the password is pass1234. Just select Ridge's event. As I said, we're hoping to make all of the presentations available. Please let me know if you can't or you need to modify your presentation, but we will email around to all the delegates the link for that within the next few days. We ran a similar workshop in Mount Isa a couple of months ago, and we were a little bit disorganised getting presentations out to everybody afterwards. So this time we're trying to be a bit more proactive and get them all together today if we can. This is how the day will run. We'll have a data in exploration session first up this morning, a bit of an industry spotlight after morning tea, targeting workshop in the afternoon after lunch, and then the JCU student session in the afternoon. Then before we all depart for drinks, if you wish to stick around, we'll hold just an informal Q&A session with representatives from the Minerals Hub, who are the compliance arm of the department when it comes to tenement management and other questions about how exploration is regulated. I know that a few people have requested access to those people so that they can ask them questions, so we'll certainly make that possible. And if anybody also wants to ask questions about the new reporting guidelines and templates, then certainly make ourselves available for that as well. We'll have networking from 6 p.m.